Warning, this is a video talking about a controversial subject. There will be some misuses of pronouns, but they are not intentional. Also, I will not remove this sort of content from my channel because I feel the world should speak about the struggles of many people everywhere, because everyone deserves love and everyone deserves respect. Thank you. This is the second of my troubled teens. It's not that she's troubled or anything per se. The series I'm talking about is called Troubled Teen because society really doesn't like talking about these kind of subjects, and I especially notice it in the Sims community where they're pretty accepting of it, but still talking about the subject if you're not experiencing it yourself seems to be kind of a taboo when it comes to that. But I think that if you've witnessed someone, you can empathize with them and try to emulate what they're going through. I can't say for sure that I'm completely sure what it's like to be transgender, but I can say that I can sympathize for the situation they're going through. Their biology does not match with what is going on in their brain. And I could say that what makes teenagers especially hard is it's like you either have the parent who's totally cool with it or the parent who doesn't want their, say, teenage boy to dress up like a girl. Which isn't completely messed up on the parents' behalf, but I mean, they should at least still try to be okay with their kid, because I mean, even if they're not okay with how they're dressing and how they're acting, they should still sort of try to accept them, even if they're not totally cool with what they're going through. Like, and before anyone says anything, I mean, they're not just gay, they're not people who need to go through some sort of church transitioning therapy or anything like that. It's just some sort of weird thing going on in their body to brain. And what they do with their body is their choice. Though, my thought on what I did with Lena is I don't want Lena to go full femme until she's an adult. I guess that seems kind of messed up, but I want to start to transition her as she starts to go towards young adulthood. Because, I mean, I think that even as a teenager, like, you should have the choice what you do with your body, but you also should think about what you're doing, because this is a permanent thing. And it's not like for sure that I think that you just will regret it, but I mean, some people do actually regret transitioning. So I'm most likely not gonna start like doing the whole making Lena super feminine thing until Lena's an adult. Because even Sims should have a choice on what happens to their body. But yeah, so funny enough, I like in my series to give my Sims a particular theme, and well, I guess I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a copyright problem if I play the themes that I was considering putting for these characters. I posted them on Twitter though, so if you want to listen to them, that's perfectly fine. But like, I wanted to talk about the themes that I picked for them. The first obvious one, the very obvious one, was a song done for the movie Milan. Yeah, these are both Disney movies, but like I felt like this theme went it's pretty much spot on. A lot of people in the LGBT community kind of link it with being either homosexual or just, not fitting the mold. And it's the song Reflection. So if you've ever listened to the song Reflection, it talks about a girl who isn't exactly right. I'm thinking it's more talking about being a tomboy, but my thought is like a lot of LGBT people cling to this because they don't exactly fit the mold either. And being gay, being transgender isn't exactly the norm. So it's just kind of how they view things. And throughout the whole thing, the girl's talking about how she's not happy with what they want her to be, and she wants to be who she is, but it's incredibly difficult. So I can totally see that also being something for someone who's transgender, where the world wants you to be something that you're just not. The second one is actually from a newer movie. It's called Moana. I know Moana's song isn't about some sort of big super change in her life, but it is a little bit, because it's like the song that I'm thinking out. Let me actually find the name of the song. It's called How Far I'll Go. It's made by one of my super duper favorite playwrights, Lin-Manuel Miranda. And every single time Lin touches something, it's beautiful. Lin, just touch everything in the world, and it'll be beautiful. Because Hamilton is beautiful. All the songs that I've heard that Lin has written is beautiful. But this specific song, I'm gonna actually dub it as the unofficial transgender theme, because the lyrics, I'm gonna look up the lyrics just so that I can read them out rather than actually playing the song, because yet again, YouTube can be pretty messed up when it comes to even commentary. Sometimes you have to fight to say, hey, well, this is fair use because it's based off of you, reviewing the song. But like they're like, oh, well, you're not technically reviewing the song, and then I'm like, wow, come on, stop it. Okay, so the person who sang the song, I'm very sorry, but I cannot actually pronounce your name. She has a very pretty voice, though. Like I said, just listen to the original one. I'm gonna butcher her name, so I'm not gonna even attempt to say it. So the song goes, I've been staring at the edge of the water, long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter, but I come back to the water no matter how hard I try. So I'm gonna take that block right there and put it back to our girl here, Lena, where her mother in the household, who she's actually part of my other family, the Fox Army family, but her mother is not exactly cool with her son becoming a girl. And she's just like very bothered by it. So she's like, for a while, her son, well, basically Lena here, she just put it back at the back of her mind. She's like, no, I'm totally not a girl. Yeah, Mom, I'm a guy. But here's Lena just looking back at the concept of becoming female, and it's hard to actually resist going towards that. So the next part is every turn I take, every trail I trek, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I can go, where I long to be. So there we go again. The whole trek and all that stuff can be, I guess, sort of a metaphor for her. I was gonna say him. I messed up. But yeah, it could be a metaphor for her where her he body just keeps on encountering situations where she would love to do this thing, but it's not socially accepted because she is biologically male. But it's just so tempting to go back to that. See the sky, the line where the sea meets. The sky where the... okay, I'm bad at reading. Okay, but yeah, like, this whole block right here, it's... let me try singing it out. Maybe me singing it won't get me a copyright strike. Because I'm a little better with reading things when I'm singing it. I don't know, I think it's the whole karaoke effect. See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail in the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. So yeah, I'm going to take that giant block right there and say that back to Lena here, if she does go towards the concept of even transitioning, she doesn't know whether or not she'll stop the whole thing and be okay with being male, or go the full route and go to become a female that she feels that she is, you know, that her brain and her body and her heart is telling her. And like this next lyric, I guess I can kind of rope this into the whole transitioning thing as well, where it's like, I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. So if anyone knows the expression that no man is an island, I actually think that can be roped into there are people who feel they are an island and they seem happy with what they feel. So everyone on this island seems so happy on this island. So everybody with their role seems so happy with their role. The expression "no man is an island" has to do with, you know, there are people around you and they're just, there are people who feel that they can just be alone, and then there are other people who know that they're not alone. Okay, but it has to do with singularity. So that's where I was going there. But like, then there's everything is by design, which is, yeah, everything's by design. People who are biologically male will sometimes, you know, well, it's not a sometimes thing. This just kind of is a thing. But Males exhibit male behavior, females exhibit female behavior. But then there's transgender people who they don't exactly fit that correctly. Not that they're incorrect or anything, it's just they're not perfectly fit Legos. I suppose that's a better way to put it. Like they're made a certain way where they're not perfectly fitting with how society shapes what you should be by design. Then it says everybody on this island has a role on this island. So every single person has a specific role. Men and women have particular roles. Women are the, bringers of life. They take care of the children. And men generally, they are the breadwinners. They are the people who bring that sort of, well, I suppose this isn't completely true. Neither one of these, but, like, men are supposed to be the big tough ones, and girls are supposed to be delicate little flowers. So when a big tough guy wants to become a delicate little flower, it confuses people. Then like so like back to the whole thing the transitioning thing. I'm bad at explaining stuff. So if you just wanted to like toss this video out the window like a pew, that's perfectly fine with me. But yeah, I didn't really go into detail with the Mulan one because it was pretty straightforward. But the metaphors I was trying to get with this particular theme isn't as straightforward in this song. So, she says, so maybe I can roll with mine. So this is, okay, so a few people, they think that when you're transgender, you just have fully accepted yourself as what you are. And I don't think that's completely true. I would assume, because, I do have a few transgender friends, and what they've told me is they had tons of doubts as a teenager because, like, they didn't know whether or not they were just gay, if they just liked cross-dressing, but, like, they knew they felt something that was different from everybody else. Then it goes, I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. Okay. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong, I'll be satisfied if I play along. But the voice inside is different, a different song. What is wrong with me? So, like, it's basically like putting on a mask. This block, I'm gonna say, you're putting on a mask to hide what you really want, which, in Lena's case, would be, I'm gonna pretend to be male, but I'm not. And does that make me bad for wanting to be female? Okay, so the next part is see the light as it shines on the sea. It blinds me. I would just go back to the whole chorus thing, but the chorus is actually different ground, so I want to actually be clear. See the light as it shines on the sea, it blinds me. But no one knows how far it goes. And it seems like it's calling me. Okay, it's calling out to me. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was gross. I've been so sick. And I got over I'm getting over this cold, but the thing is like I'm kind of okay, so I have a really compromised immune system because I have lupus, but because of that, like, okay, so I get medication and it weakens my immune system. So if anything, any sort of nasties come into there, I get sick. And I stay sick for a while. But it's just so that I'm not always in horrible pain. So it does have a purpose. It's not just to have infinite torture for me. The doctors are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, let me go back to this. See the light as it shines on the sea, it blinds me. No one knows how far it goes. And it seems like it's called. I always get this kind of stuff wrong when I'm like, don't have music, but I can't play music because. Damn. Like, I kind of wish there wasn't these big rules that even if they hear the sound of the music in the background, that they just automatically strike you. And it seems like it's calling out to me. So come and find me, and let me know what's beyond this line. Will I cross that line? So I'm gonna put this. I'm actually making my teen an older teen. So this is where this would go, where it seems that adulthood is so close, and being a transgender teen means that this is when the time would be when you would start if you are dedicated to this, you have done the therapy for it, you have decided on what hormones you're going to take and do all that stuff. That's when you're about to go and emerge onto that. Some people, they do it really young, which I don't have anything against you doing that. Yet again, it's your body. Though I do respect people who do transition a little later, because like full transition, if you're just starting some things here and there and just trying to adjust to being a transgender teen, that is cool. I mean, like, yeah, it makes things a little harder because you're not exactly passable as female or male, but part of having something like this is having to go through some sort of struggle. Like, say if you it goes back to like how people say, oh well, you're like this because you're gay or something like that. You know, there are actually transgender males, like well, let me see. Well, there's transgender males who like females and like males, and it's just like, okay, so let me put a better example. There's this girl that I used to hang out with, and she transitioned to being a male, but she didn't go automatically into dating females. She dated a man. Then after that, she dated a female, which I guess made her bisexual. But but yeah, like what you will like isn't completely determined by transitioning. That's why I always thought it was a little weird that transgender is included in the LGBT. I know it's a oppressed group, but I mean, maybe I'm just a little misinformed, but I kind of think they're their own struggle. So they should actually be their own thing. Like like people who are like cuz I know people are saying that asexual, non-binary and all that should be included in the LGBT, but I think they should actually be more with, the transgender people because they have to do with the struggle based off of how your sexy bits work in comparison to your noggin, where all these things have to do with how you think about things rather than biologically what you're into. Because, like, back when I was a kid, the LGBT was just the LGB, which was lesbian, gay, and bisexual. Um, and I thought, okay, well, that makes sense because these are all sexual preferences. You could be a guy who's into guys, a girl who's into girls, or you're just into both. Then, like, the transgender thing got added, which I wasn't entirely, like, I didn't think it was a bad thing that they added transgender. Like, if they're helping out a group that's going through some sort of struggle, that that's perfectly fine. I just thought, transgender people should actually have their own advocacy thing, where their struggles are put at the forefront because their thing is completely different from the struggles of, say, a gay, lesbian, or bisexual person would go through because they physically don't fit the mold that society has made for them. But, I mean, I guess I'm getting a little off course here. But yeah, I mean, all these lyrics, right from the ending of the Moana song, I'm just interpreting that as he/she, being the transgender person, is at the finish line, and they're getting pretty close to it, and they don't know whether or not they're gonna fully go through with it, but they want to. And because they want to, it's just getting closer and closer. And maybe they will never go back. And they'll be happy with what they are. And if you think about it, that song in Moana kind of is true. Like, Moana herself, she didn't really go back to not sailing. Moana always felt this sort of urge to go back to the sea. And I think, like, my sim has always felt this urge to go towards this thing that she's just not. Like, she's not female, but she is, and she wants to be. And I'm fully going to for Lena's story, I am going to have her transition, but yet again, I am going to make it so that it's like a thing where she's going and going, and she's like, she's seeing therapy, she's going to these doctor's appointments. If you actually look at the skin I gave her, it gives her a little bit of an Adam's apple, like a visible one, but not like crazy. I also started on making her face a little more softer. She wears a lot of makeup because she feels that if she doesn't, she'll look too male, and it'll cause problems. And she does deal with the struggle of people making fun of her for dressing like a woman and acting like a woman. And even her mother, who isn't very cool with this, is pretty harsh with her. Like, even on and off telling her that she wishes she had her son back. Which hurts him. Well, her. God damn it, I'm terrible. But, it really hurts her, so she's just like... She really wished that her parents were cool with it. Well, her parent. Her mother is actually, well, her mother raised her sister Kimber, and her other siblings, let's see. It was her, Kimber, and Sienna. The most recent addition to the family is actually a half-sibling named Zayden. Lena's mother, Kate, she married this guy named Edward Blake, who, funny enough, was a lot more accepting of Lena's... Basically, this father here, he's a lot more accepting of the transitioning. He's rich, but he's an advocate, so he does not believe in shaming anyone for their choices in life and what they want to do with their lives, and he's a good person. He's also very romantic, and he's like career oriented, so like part of his thing is like he wants to reach out there and with other teens, just like his stepdaughter, where he wants to have her be perfectly fine with who she is. And so he convinced her mother to allow her to dress as a woman, and she accepted it, but she was not happy about it. Well, she allowed it, she didn't accept it. This is his stepsister. She's a very smart girl, and even she's accepting because of what her father has taught her. And she's even like a brave sim, so she has no problem walking out in public with her transgender sister. So the only person in the family that's not cool with it is Lena's mother, which I guess if you're a girl and your mother just doesn't really love you as much as she used to, I'm pretty sure, like, even if you're a transgender girl, it hurts. Because girls look up to their mothers despite whether or not they're, like, I guess, biologically female or non-biologically female. And even boys, to a degree, would hate it if their mother just stopped loving them as much as she used to. And so yeah, I guess I went a little longer with Lena here than I did with Aiden. Or I don't even know, but I went because the thing with Aiden is it was a little more obvious with the stuff that I picked for him that he was a domestic violence victim. But I wanted to go into full explanation why Lena is the way she is and how things are. I'm gonna probably end this here. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe for more spastastic content. And love you guys. Stay awesome. Bye-bye. Mwah. Love you. If you enjoyed the music that's in this video, is done by Ross Bugden on YouTube. He does royalty-free music. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Phantom Celebi. And for all those who are struggling through some sort of issue out there, whether it be domestic abuse, transitioning, or even thoughts of suicide, I just want you all to know that you are loved and you don't have to be alone in this struggle. Stay awesome. Bye-bye. Mwah.